So, it has been a few weeks since I last recorded a video on this channel, and well, I decided before I get on with my next playthrough, I might as well do one more thing in this game. Now, this is not part of my playthrough. This is just something I wanted to do as a little bonus feature for this game, because I figured, well, I need at least one cooldown video from the high-speed, intense playthrough that I went through with this game, and also the fact that I recently finished my university coursework as well. I figured I might as well just showcase the My Cars section as kind of a post-credits scene, if you will, where I will basically be selecting a few cars that I did not use in the career mode. And basically what these are cars that I decided at random that I am going to choose, and also to put some customization on them, because I figured, why not? Also, the reason for me taking my break when I did is, well, because to start with, burnout is a bitch. And for the last few weeks, I can definitely tell you that prior to me taking my 2-week vacation, I was definitely suffering with excessive amounts of burnout. And yeah, we'll use the Pontiac. And last but not least, just to fill out the row, let's use, if I can find it, I really want to use the Lotus Elise, but I'm also pretty sure there's a Lambo somewhere in here. And yes, there is, the Murciélago. Okay, I think that should do it. And these are the 5 cars that we are going to customize, because, well, the customization section from the main menu is free. So, the most wanted playthrough is already done, but I decided, just as a post-credits scene, yeah, I'm going to stick with Bodycoat 1 for this. Yeah, we'll stick with Bodycoat 1. I think that's the least obtrusive. And as for the wing, we'll go with, yeah, let's go with Dynamo. And now for the wheels, I'm gonna select I'll go with, yeah, 18-inch and Fibesogen GN Plus. And now for the hood, I think I'm going to use a carbon hood, just to begin this. And now for the roof scoops, might as well put on another carbon roof scoop whilst I'm at it, because I can. And that's now the body customization applied, and now we are going to put on the max performance parts. Which is basically what we are doing. And the main reason I decided to do this is because I am showcasing the Junkman parts. Because they are arguably the best of the best parts that we can physically get in the main menu customization, which is basically what my cars is. Because I figured why not. And we've got all these. Yeah, let's put those on. And I think just to finish this off, I'll change the paint of this car. I think let's go with... let's make this thing... I think this is meant to be turquoise, is it? But I don't know for sure. Oh, hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. That was not the scene. There's the scene. Oh, it's just metallic blue. Yeah, I'll paint it that. Why not? And I think the other thing I'll do is put on a... yeah, let's see what unique vinyls we have here. I figured I haven't really shown those off, so I might as well make an exception, just to see what we have. Yeah, we'll use this one. And I think what I'll do in response to this is put on my racing number. And because I don't want this to be too long, I will also put on the most wanted sponsor on both quarter panels. And then I think that'll more or less do it for the customization on the Audi. Figured I might as well put on the most wanted logo on both sides. And also, I chose the Audi TT because, well, this is the first car I did not drive in the career mode. Yeah, I think that should do it. Okay, so that is our first car customized from the My Cars section of Need for Speed Most Wanted. And now we will move on to our second car, the Renault Clio. A car which, if I had a personal opinion, I would say it looks fine the way it is, but as ever, I do this for the sake of showcasing, and let's see. Yeah, that's a little ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go with... yeah, I think Body 3 looks the least repulsive of those five, personally. And as for the wing, let's go... yeah, let's make it a tuner wing. And we'll go with... yeah, let's go with links. I think that'll work for this thing. And now for the rims. Let's put on... yeah, let's go BBS. And we'll put on... sure, why not? And yeah, 17 inch. You don't always need the high-inch rims to make the car look cool when it already looks cool. Sure, tri-slot. And up here... yeah, let's go with a dual. And we'll go with... yeah, let's do glass back. So that's the body customization. Now we got to move on to... performance. Because I can. Of course, I'm not exactly going to race these things because, well, I don't necessarily need to. But one thing I will do is make sure that the Junkman parts we get from the main menu do get their respected showcase. And there we go. That's pretty much all of the ultimate upgrades fitted. Even though I could just do max performance on all of them anyway, and it wouldn't have really mattered all that much. But whatever. And I am going to paint this thing... yeah, let's paint it pink. I am using a pink Clio. And as for... yeah, let's see what stripes we have. Maybe they'll manage to provide me with something interesting. Do we have any more body stripes? Yeah. Sure, why not? We'll go with this one. And we'll paint it... anything better here? Sure, why not? We'll paint it blue. And... might as well showcase the window tint whilst I'm here, since I chose not to do that before. Sure, dark red. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not just rambling whilst I'm customizing this car. I want to make sure that I am keeping it interesting. And if you were expecting me to do anything that would not be customization related, then, well, you are wrong. And of course, yeah, let's go with the windshield this time. We'll put the Most Wanted logo on both the front and rear windshields. Because why not? It makes sense, and it's also because, as ever, I do want to make sure that I am not overdoing the customization process. Okay. Numbers already fitted, and now let's put on a custom gauge. Yeah, we'll do Sonic on the tachometer. We'll go with a grey needle. Lettering will be that, and the gauge will be... yeah, that'll work. It's not too in your face, and in all honesty, I think it works okay. So, that's now 2 cars down, and still 3 to go. As next up we are using the Cadillac. This is one car I actually really wanted to drive in the career mode, but for whatever reason I couldn't. And my god, does this thing look like a beast. It looks like a very homologated beast. And you know what? Because it's a homologated beast, I'm gonna put it on. I suppose there are certain body kits that can't always be winners. And we'll go with... yeah, we'll go with Banshee. And now for the rims, we'll use ADR. And we'll go with... yeah, I think that'll work. 20-inch ADRs. And now for the hood. Yeah, we'll use Mongoose. And now for the roof scoops. Let's go with... sure, we'll do Twister. Have to at least keep it interesting somehow. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, and we've got all the ultimate upgrades. That should be fine. I think we should also be at max performance as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, my idea is to put on the Junkman parts. Well, that's pretty much what I'm here to do, so might as well do it anyway. They may not be available in the career mode garage, but at least they're available in the customization garage. And you know what? I am okay with that. Okay, so that's all the Junkman parts fitted. And now we move on to the visual. And yeah, let's use a custom paint job this time. Why not? You know what? I think if I manage to find the right vinyl for this, this could actually work. I wonder what flame vinyls we have. Do we have any interesting ones? No, we don't. What about tribal? See what we can get from tribal. Yeah, we'll go with number 10. So outside, we'll make that grey. And the inside, we'll make that... needs to be something we can see. Yeah, I think I can see that. It's not too much. Even then, of course, if the yellow and brown filter doesn't really help in terms of actually putting together the overall presentation of the car. And for this one, we'll make it... sure. I'm not really putting decals on these cars, except for the most wanted decal, because I figured under the circumstances that was the best way to do it. And I think what I'll do this time around, let's put on the ADR sponsor. on both sides. That's not what I meant to do. So I'm gonna put the ADR sponsor on both sides of the car, because why not? And I think what I'll also do is I'll put the Most Wanted logo on one quarter panel and then the front windshield. Yep. And yeah. So gonna put the Most Wanted logo on again, because, well, I kind of have to. Okay. And that is now our third car done. Choosing to do these entirely at random. And now we move on to the Pontiac, as we are driving excitement. Not really managing to give me anything that looks good here. Why not? It's American muscle. I might as well go with the wide boy style, if that makes any sense. Even though I know these types of customization mods aren't really considered cool anymore with these homologation mods. You know what, yeah, let's go with the wildfire wing. And yeah, let's do Racing Heart. And we're gonna go with 6-spoke rims and 19-inch. And now for the hood, we're gonna go with... yeah, let's go with another carbon hood for this one. Go Fusion. And then for the roof scoop, we'll go with... let's use... yeah, we'll use Airstream. So that's the body customization now done. And gonna put on max performance parts. And now I will fit the Junkman parts, because that is what I am here to do. Because Junkman parts are better than the max performance parts. Period. Wait, what brand of tyres was it? Oh, Stratospeed. I might actually consider including that as a sponsor if I really feel like it. Okay. There we go. Performance now fitted. And now, last but not least, whilst I can tell this thing probably has a carbon grille of some sort, I'm gonna make this thing metallic. And let's paint it... let's see... what can we paint this thing that won't be too much? Do we have orange in here? We do have orange. Yeah. Let's use orange for this. And now we move on to... yeah, let's use a body vinyl this time, because that's the most we have in this game. And we'll go with... You know what, yes, we'll go with this one. It's only one colour. I don't have a lot to worry about here. I just have to make sure that I make it work somehow. Yeah, let's make this thing a tiger, basically. With orange and black. This more or less is a tiger, right? At least that's what me thinks. And for the rims, we'll paint those... yeah, we'll paint those green. I don't think that's too much. And we'll go dark green on the window tint. And now, last but not least, as always, the number. And now all I have to do... let's put on the Strato Speed decal on one side. And yes, if you're asking, this customization section, it was completely my own choice. So Strato Speed, that will go on both sides. And then as always, we have the Most Wanted logo afterwards. Oh, that's not it. There it is. And we'll put the Most Wanted logo on both sides. I think that'll work out pretty well from what I can see. Okay. Alright. We'll put that in on both sides. Just to show what this thing really is. Okay. And I'll put it in on the windshield, and then I think that should be enough evidence to make our claims as righteous as they can possibly be. Okay. There we go. Alright, so that's now 4 of the 5 cars we have now customized, and that took me under 29 minutes to get there. So now we move on to the Lambo. Doesn't really offer much, but out of all the body kits I've seen so far, this is one of the least ugly, from what I have seen. And I think it's only natural that this should be the choice I go with. And now for the wings. We'll go with... let's go with a... yeah, let's go with another carbon wing for this. And we'll go with... what was that other one? Yeah, we'll go with fishtail. And last but not least, we will use Koenig. And we'll go with... no, we won't use Koenig. We'll go with... yeah, I think that'll work. Lowenhart 18-inch. And we'll go with Tri-Slot. And as for the roof scoop, let's go with another dual roof scoop. We'll go with... yeah, let's choose... yeah, we'll choose wind tunnel. These are my customization choices after all. It's not like we're really in the be-all, end-all when it comes to making sure the parts work. And that's why I am fitting the Junkman parts. Just as kind of a way for me to say that this is how I will technically close the game off. The playthrough is already done, but this is where I officially end the game. And you know what? We're going to put on the Gentera sponsorship for this, because I really like that logo. So, let's now head over to the visual. And I think for this... yeah, let's paint this thing red. Actually, no. On second thoughts, I'm going to paint this thing green, similar to the one that featured in, I think it was Midnight Club 3, if I'm not mistaken. Except for saying that Rockstar knows how to not overdo it with the customization in that game. And we'll go with another body vinyl, because the body vinyls are what we seem to have the most of. And right now, I don't really feel like using anything else. We'll go with... let's see. Do we have anything interesting? No, we got a few of them. Wonder what we get from the tribal vinyls. I actually don't mind that one. Let's see. Not too much. What was that other one? Yeah, here it is. Let's go with this one. I think the first colour we'll use... actually, yeah. We'll keep the main vinyl. We'll keep the main vinyl white, and the stripes. Yeah, we'll go red with the first one and yellow with the second one. I think that should do it. And now, for the rims, we will paint these... yeah, we'll paint those blue. We'll probably do the same with the windshield. Sometimes you have to know when to show your true colours. And 24 as always... and now, I will put on the Gentera vinyl on the windshield, and then on the rear window, if there is one, we'll put on the Most Wanted logo. And I think we'll probably do the same thing for both our doors as well. I actually didn't think you could put a vinyl on the engine vent. Anyway, one more thing to do, and that is the slots. So, gonna put on Gentera, and then we'll put on Most Wanted. And I think we put on a set of Racing Heart rims, was it? That we put on? So I might as well include that as well. Just as pretty much a way to say that I include some of the sponsors. Yeah, that should do it. So the first one, again, is Chantera. And... fuck it, I'll just put it on anyway. Doesn't exactly show itself in true form, but it shows enough to the point where I can still fit it. Because why not? And... oh yeah, it was Racing Heart that I put on before. And I've just gone past it. There it is. Okay, I think that should be everything, from what I can see. I've come up with 3 completely unique customizations, and I'll use another... yeah, let's go with the boost. I think that'll work out okay. Okay, so a blue needle with pink lettering and sure, whatever. It's enough to show that I have showcased the My Cars section. And now that we're done with this, I am going to give you a showcase view of each of my cars. So this is the first car that I didn't use in the career mode, the Audi TT. I do think Underground 2's customization model is better than this game's model, but I still think it manages to give off enough interesting points and pieces that do at least make it not feel like it's too much. And of course, as ever with the homologation body kits, I can't really say that I've been too much of a fan of those. Certain ones will work really well, but other ones not so much, which is kind of what I would say this one is. But again, that's my take, not yours. I don't think this is really one of my favourite body kit mods, in all honesty. But again, that's my take, not yours. I guess there can't always be winners. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. You know what? I think I am gonna make the Pontiac my thumbnail shot for this. And the game did that on purpose when I was about to get my clickbait shot. Just gotta make sure it stays in place this time. Okay, we got it. And this is our tiger-coloured Pontiac GTO, which actually doesn't look too bad in all honesty. And now, last but not least, the Lamborghini Murciélago, which I can say, out of all the body kits I have fitted to each of these cars, this one looks like probably the least ugly compared to all the others. But anyway, there we go. So, I think after recording this for 40 minutes, that's probably enough to give you an idea of how the My Cars section looks. And yes, I will save the game because I turned autosave off again. For reasons I probably don't need to explain. But either way, that's pretty much everything in Need for Speed Most Wanted. If you want to see my closing thoughts on the game, then link to the playthrough finale is in the description, and it is also somewhere in the video cards. And you will also find a timestamp explaining my closing thoughts on the game. If it's a bit longer than you want it to be, then well, personally that's because I haven't done one of those closing thoughts section on a video game playthrough for a while now. And if it is longer than your ears want to listen to, then well, I am sorry for not being able to actually spend more time doing my video games over the things that are actually important. But anyway, whatever. So, that is the My Cars section of Most Wanted. Me using 5 completely random cars, and that is pretty much everything I can showcase in this game. So, yeah, now it's time to move on to the next playthrough I do. So, yeah. See you in the next playthrough.